Sprinklers are not that common on specialty fruits and vegetables. Sprinklers have probably the highest upfront cost, and they can promote diseases on fruits and vegetables. Sprinklers leave moisture on the fruit that can increase cracking in tomatoes and rot in strawberries. Sprinklers are sometimes used to help germinate a crop and used during the early stages of plant growth. Then a grower will switch to one of the other methods. Farmers use sprinklers to germinate cover crop seeds in the fall and then rely on winter rains for irrigating established plants. When relying on winter rains, cover crops are more successful in the northern Central Valley than in the south because rainfall is greater. Flood or furrow irrigation is still very commonly used in the Central Valley on many vegetable crops. Flood irrigation has the lowest upfront cost, however it is not very efficient. That is, it uses more water than is necessary. The water is put on less uniformly than drip irrigation and will be heavy at the front or bottom of the field, with less in the middle. An almost level field with a slight decline toward the bottom of the field is necessary to avoid low spots where water collects and causes root rot. Since everything gets wet, there are more weeds. Farmers in Fresno will irrigate twice a week at 3 to 4 hours each time in sandy loam soil. Some farmers still use an open ditch from the well and plastic siphon tubes to move the water from the ditch into the furrow. Most farmers now have switched to a poly pipe lay flat that can be cut with openings for the water to flow out of, or the poly pipe can be fitted with gates which open and close to regulate the flow. 8 or 10-inch poly pipe, which is 10 mil in thickness, is connected to the well, and then a hole is made to insert the foam plugs or plastic gate at the desired spacing. Most farmers space beds on 36-inch centers. 10 mil polypipe costs about $125 to $150 per 670-foot roll. Drip irrigation is the most efficient system because it puts the water right where it is needed, very evenly in and around the plant roots. Generally, it can reduce water usage by 25 to 50% if used properly. It can also reduce weed growth in the furrows and between the beds. It can make salt burn on plant roots worse if it is not run for enough time to move salts out of the rooting area. Regulating how much water to use can be tricky in the beginning until the farmer determines how frequently and for how long to irrigate. In the summer, strawberry farmers typically irrigate 3 times per week for 2 to 3 hours at a time. T-tape is one kind of drip tape farmers often use, and on an acre of strawberries spaced 52 or 54 inches between rows, you would need 1 to 1.5 rolls of a 6 mil tape with an 8-inch spacing between emitters. From the well running along the top of the field, you will also need to run either 4-inch lay-flat plastic hose, as shown here, or buried 2 to 4-inch PVC pipe, depending on how much acreage is being watered. There are additional clamps, PVC, and fittings required to set it all up. The T-tape costs about $169 for a 10,000-foot roll. The 4-inch lay-flat plastic hose costs about $279 for a 300-foot roll.